If you're interested to see how my investments have performed over this year and how I update my net worth tracker annually, you're at the right place. Since I am a passive investor, I only revisit my portfolio occasionally and I hardly make any changes. Once a year, I put a lot of effort into tracking all of my retirement, pension and discretionary stock market investments, and this is what I'm going to do in this video. I'll also show you which of my investments perform the best. Then we'll look at whether I should be adding Bitcoin to my portfolio, and I'll set some goals for next year. As part of my annual financial roundup, I revisit my net worth tracker. Your net worth is basically calculated by adding all of your assets together and deducting your debt. This is really just a simple sheet I use. If you want to use this for yourself, you can sign up to my free mini course. It's linked in the caption, and I share this tracker on day 1 of the mini course. So we're just going to be looking at my financial assets. I don't have any debt besides for some leverage in my investment portfolio, which means on my broker account, I'm borrowing money to invest in the stock market. This is definitely not something I would recommend for everyone because it comes with additional risk, but I have about 20% leverage in my stock portfolio. The first thing to complete on the net worth tracker is all of your savings accounts or deposit accounts that you hold cash in. If you're a regular viewer, you would know by now that besides having your emergency fund in cash, I encourage you not to hold too much cash because the only way to achieve growth is by investing it. Of course, if you're holding money aside for either a house deposit or education or for some other reason, then it's good to hold that in cash if you need the money in the short term. But any money that you are investing towards your retirement, you should look at investing in the stock market. One tip that I can definitely give you there is that if you operate in multiple currencies, I travel quite a lot between Europe and South Africa. My Wise account is honestly my saver. I actually use it as my payment card. As you can see, it's loaded on my Google Pay. Anyway, this is an amazing way to switch between currencies at a very low cost. Usually, if you switch between currencies a lot, there are a lot of extra fees involved without you even noticing. If you're interested in a Wise account for either yourself or your business, I've also linked that in the caption. So the first thing that I'm going to look at is my stock portfolio investment, and that has increased 59% this year, which is actually a very good return, and the stock market has had one of its best years in history. You would also know that I am a big advocate for index investing, so majority of my portfolio is invested in index funds, but I do have some single stocks that I invested in at the start of the year and some of them last year. I haven't changed any of my single stock positions since January, and some of them, like Nvidia, have grown a lot and have now actually taken up a bigger allocation in my portfolio. The best performers in my stock portfolio have been Nvidia. The second one is my Nasdaq ETF, then my S&P 500 ETF. My Tesla shares have done really, really well. And the last one in the top 5 is my Google or Alphabet shares. If your investment portfolio has not done very well this year, then you should really look into what you're invested in, if you have enough equity exposure, and also if your fees on your investment products are eating your returns. So overall, my stock portfolio increased with 59% this year. The next investment that I look at is my private investments. This could be investment in private companies, which means it's not listed companies, and also potentially any equity that you have either in your own business or in your employer. So my investments in private businesses have not changed their value over the last year because these businesses are private and I have not issued any valuations since. And this is the thing about making private investments, is you can really only realize those gains if someone else is willing to buy those shares from you. And it's also hard to put a value on them because you can only really know what they are worth once someone makes an offer to purchase or if the company goes through a formal valuation process. The next thing I do is I look at my retirement assets. I've built up pension funds in 2 different countries because I worked in the UK and then after that in Switzerland. In the UK, I've had 2 employers and I've made sure to merge those 2 pension funds into the fund with the lowest fees, which really is essential for pension assets. You want to have low fees because this money will be invested for another 30 years at least, and I want to make sure that I pay as little fees as possible on that. So the fees on my UK pension is 0.35%. and it has returned 27% this year. Next up is my Pillar 3A in Switzerland, which is a tax-smart way of accumulating retirement funds in Switzerland. You get a tax deduction for your contributions, and those assets are not subject to wealth tax. I actually have a course on how to be a tax-smart investor in Switzerland, and I will also include that in the caption. My Pillar 3A has a fee of 0.39%, and it has returned 38% this year. So both these retirement assets, one in Switzerland and one in the UK, have done quite well this year. The next thing you'll include in the net worth tracker is your debt, and you will deduct that from your assets. I don't have any debt, so my net worth would really just be my assets. To calculate the total increase in my overall net worth, I convert all of the assets to US dollar. Then I compare the total of net assets in 2024 to the total of net assets in 2023. My overall increase in my net worth in 2024 was 92%. And I haven't allocated any value to my business yet because it's still really new, but perhaps next year I'll be able to add that, which brings me to something that I wasn't planning on including, but I think it's worth mentioning. I talk about stock market investing a lot, and I really think a good way to build wealth in the long term is by diversifying your exposure to different asset classes. And by investing in the stock market, you can easily get a lot of diversified exposure to many industries and many countries and many currencies. But I also want to encourage you, building up business equity is probably one of the ways that you will really be able to build wealth. And this is why I always encourage people to start businesses and to become entrepreneurs, especially if you have an entrepreneurial spirit. Yes, it involves a lot of risk, but I think it is really rewarding in the long term on a personal growth level, but also on a financial level. And the first business might not be successful, and I don't want you now to go and throw your life savings into something because of what I said, but I want to encourage you, if you have been thinking of a long time to start a business, this is really the way that you can build significant wealth in the long term. What did I learn this year about the stock market? At the start of the year, the banks predicted a 6% growth in the S&P 500. At the time I did the research for this video, the S&P 500 has returned more than 30% over the last year. So what does this tell you? The experts can't predict what's going to happen in the stock market. So don't give too much attention to doom and gloom news. And of course, the stock market is not always going to perform as well as it did this year. And there will be times when it goes down, and there will definitely be crashes in the future. But we don't know whether this point is the lowest point that the stock market will ever be, and whether it will go up more before there is a downturn. No one can predict that. But this is the beauty of the stock market. The volatility is the price that you pay for superior returns. If we knew what was going to happen in the stock market, there wouldn't be any risk associated, because then we would know exactly what to expect. And if there isn't risk, there isn't reward. So perhaps this has not been a testing year for stock market investors, and that will really happen when there is a downturn in the stock market, to see if you will stick it out and still continue investing, because this is the way that you can take advantage of dollar cost averaging. So I used to own some crypto assets 3 years ago. In May 2024, I added a task to my to-do list that I want to add a Bitcoin ETF to my portfolio. And I never got to it because I actually don't visit my investment portfolio that often, and I don't really make changes at all. But the plan was to do it during my annual portfolio review, when I make these changes, and which is also when I prepared for this video. But then Bitcoin has experienced a significant rise in its price. I just feel that the greed levels are so high that I'm going to be waiting a bit before I add Bitcoin to my portfolio. And this is really just my personal preference. I understand the value that Bitcoin brings, in the sense that it could be compared to gold, but just a digital and a virtual version, because it is a store of value and there is a global reference price. If what I pay for a Bitcoin here, I would be able to sell to an investor in a different country, and there is a global reference price for it. But I've also learned that it is never a good time to buy an asset when everyone is talking about it. I want to give this some time so that the greed dust settles before I buy in. Sorry to disappoint you on that one, but I'll keep you updated on how that progresses and if and when I make any changes. So my goals for 2025. This year I've not been great with keeping to my budget, because my income levels have fluctuated since I've moved away from my corporate role, and my income isn't as predictable anymore. So I haven't been able to stick to my budget as good as I used to before. That's something that I really want to take seriously again in 2025, to set up a proper budget and to revisit and be more strict about it. My next goal is to grow my business in the next year. A lot of my capital and income is going to be reinvested in my business to allow me to grow that. So I also want to invest some of my money in the stock market. It might not be as much as I used to before, but I've set a goal for myself which is a reasonable amount, and I just want to at least achieve that. If you want to learn how to be a smart stock market investor, I've linked my investing course in the caption. Please let me know what your goals are for your investment portfolio next year. And if you're updating this net worth tracker, I would love to hear how it goes.